Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about challengers. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros: movie star Zendaya, obviously. I don't think I need to tell you in detail who Zendaya is. You all know who she is. She is big right now. She's been big for quite a few years, actually. Now I still remember her during her Disney Channel days. It was like her and Bella Thorne was Shake It Up, yeah. And then now she is just seems like everywhere now. I mean, like on TV, she has Euphoria, which is one of HBO's biggest shows. But in the movie world, she has a pretty impressive resume, to say the least. I mean, she was in the MCU Spider-Man movies, the Home trilogy, if you will, as basically the MCU's MJ, even though it was married Michelle Jones, still played the role of MJ. So there's like those movies with the third one making damn near $2 billion. Then you also have The Greatest Showman, which was a big hit too. And then recently the Dune movies, Dune and Dune Part Two. And Dune, despite all the limitations I had to deal with, all the you know basically it was put in a not so great situation because of HBO Max being a part of that cursed experiment, and the fact that the marketplace wasn't really completely recovered yet. It did great for itself, and then Doom Part Two didn't have to deal with any of those problems, and it's the biggest movie of the year so far. And I imagine like Zendaya and Timothy Chalamet, they are the only reasons why young people even gave a shit about the Dune movies. I fully believe that. Like they made young people care about those movies. So yeah, Zendaya, huge name. Everyone knows it. And I imagine, and the thing is, like, this movie was supposed to come out in September. That was the initial plan, but then the strikes, the actor strike and the writer strike, like it was just a writer strike. This movie probably would have been fine, but the actor strike, the studio was just like, we need Zendaya to market this movie because Zendaya has such a stupidly big following online that they just see it as, okay, this is free advertising. We just get her to market it, and then we're as good as gold. So instead of not having her market, they were just like, you know what? Let's just delay until she can market it. So I think that speaks volumes about how much they value Zendaya and her star power. And this will definitely be a test to see how big her star power really is, because this isn't like based on a big IP. This isn't like this have like a big ensemble cast. This is mainly her. So this is a real test to see how many tickets she can really sell. And I imagine anyone who's watching this movie is definitely watching it for Zendaya. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, Zendaya, I gotta label her as a pro. Another pro is the fact that of all the movies coming out this weekend, this definitely has the most um, buzz surrounding it, has the most attention, the most marketing, the most everything. So that automatically gives it an advantage over everything else. So that's a pro. Another pro is the fact that reviews for this movie are very good. It has a 88% critic score, 77% audience score, which isn't as good. I believe its cinema score is a B plus. Let me see. B plus. Is it B plus? B plus, which is like fine, but word of mouth is overall good. Critic score is great. Audience score and challenge and audience score could be a little better. Cinema score is okay-ish. So label that as a pro. Uh, any other pros? I guess another pros is Thursday previews are fine for what this is. For this being like a non-IP movie, these previews are quite all right. So I'm gonna label that as a pro. Although I don't think this was this fully Thursday. I don't think. I'm not sure. Let me see. I need to make sure. I guess. Yeah, apparently Zendaya has 184 million Instagram fans. That's crazy. That's a whole damn country right there. That's maddening. That's wild. But yeah, apparently some of this preview money, although some of this preview money was from like earlier sneak peeks, I guess. But still, this number is all right for what it is. So I'm gonna label that as a pro. Okay, cons. I mean, visit for Zendaya. Yes, she's big. Yes, she's been in some big stuff, but this doesn't have the advantage a lot of her other movies have. This doesn't have like a big ensemble cast. Doesn't have a an IP attached to it. So yeah, this being like a real test of star power. Like if it doesn't do great, then that kind of damages her a little bit. Maybe not entirely, but it wouldn't look too good. So the fact that this lacks the safety net of her other movies, they'll label that as a bit of a con. Another con is the fact that this movie is about tennis, partially about tennis. And here's the thing: unless it involves like Serena Williams or Venus Williams, no one gives a shit about tennis. No one cares. No one cares about the sport. Not like in real life, and definitely not in the movie world. I mean, the only time people cared about tennis was when they could do it in Wii Sports. That's it. That's literally it. When it comes to tennis movies, like there's not a whole lot of them, and there's a pretty good reason as to why that is because no one cares about them. Battle of the Sexes, 2017, nobody watched that. King Richard, nobody watched that. Although that was part a victim of not Paramount, HBO Max experiment. Even then, I seriously doubt it would have made that much money. And this movie's only basically memorable because Will Smith won the Oscar after he literally slapped Chris Rock. That's the only reason why anyone even remotely remember King Richard. So yeah, tennis movies. There's not a lot of them, but but we're like 0 and 2, so that's not good. So this revolving around tennis not being the most popular sport out there, gonna label that as a con. Another con is that although this is the biggest movie of the weekend, there's still a lot of movies out, and I already mentioned people might be doing other things, watching Knuckles, playing Stellar Blade, other stuff. Right, it's a busy weekend, so you got to deal with all that competition, both in the movie world and outside the movie world. So that's a con, and yeah, I think that's it. So opening weekend, early numbers say this is opening with 15 million, like, which I guess is fair, 15 million. So I'm gonna go with that. And final total, his legs should be fine. Although I imagine Zendaya fans are probably gonna rush to see the movie, and that might cause a bit of front loading. I don't know by how much, but I'm gonna say 35 to 45 million. Let's just go with that, just to be safe. And that's it. Okay, two more movies. We're almost done, I swear. We got the Mummy re-release, and we got Unsung Hero, and then that's it. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I've made this year. You want to watch any of those or any of the ones I've done the past few years? Go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I talked about this movie one time, and that's when it got that delay from like September to April. That was episode 198. I talked about it alongside Problemista, Poor Things, Exorcist Deceiver, and Saltburn. So I talked about it alongside those. So if you want to watch that episode or any other ones I've done, I literally made a cancel episode like several hours ago about Craven and Karate Kid and some other movies. That was episode 244. So there's 244 episodes. You want to watch any of them from beginning to now, I highly encourage you do that. You want to binge them all from beginning to now, please do so. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for a particular month. April recap will come out between the 3rd and the 10th of May. It's going to be a very sad video, just warning you. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.